You can see and hear us.
Yes, please. Yay.
All right, Matt.
Matt's,
Hi, Matt.
wow. Oh, speaking of, Matt's Big Breakfast is open now by
Sweet.
us, so I'm thinking we should probably go.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Chat room looks good. All right. And I have SiriBot watching the channel. Okay.
Oh, excellent. All right.
Is Matt the dark helmet version of
Yeah.
Max?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's the problem. I saw the when will then be now soon and got distracted. Darth. Anyway. Okay. So we're 5x5 or 4x4 or something. All right.
I'm 4'10".
You are 4'10". All right. Am I tilting?
You are tilting a little bit, it seems to me, but
Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm better now.
yeah.
Just
At your V8.
Are you?
All right, where
What
did that
are you?
thing go? Oh wait, yeah, bigger, so
Please do.
I can hide my face with.
No. We like your face.
Well, I'm hiding it from me because that's where I put the reading.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Then I will not get distracted by my own self and then read.
Yeah, exactly.
I put us to the side. That's why I keep looking sideways.
Yeah, I have you. So Tets is right there. So if I'm intently staring at the camera, I'm staring at Tets, and you are above Tets right now.
She's right there.
Okay.
And
I'm
Kenny's,
right.
and Kenny's right there, and you're right there.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. So it all works out.
All right.
Buzzing me. It'd be very distracting. You know what? I'm taking off my watch because their chatter about on-call stuff is going to be distracting. All right. Ready as we're going to be.
Oh, let me do the ad here. I forget.
Here we go.
Okay.
Let's see
There we
how many
go.
times I take my sweater off.
Hot Flash 1, Hot Flash 2.
Hot Flash 2. Now I'm cold.
Yeah. It's the AIE bingo card.
Drinking game.
Words are hard.
Words are hard.
Alrighty. Going live. Assuming everyone's good. 5, 4, 3, 2. On this episode of the AIE Podcast.
Halloween approaches. Don't forget to post those pics.
We have MFN for New World.
We have a raid team roundup, and I didn't have to do it.
Endwalker. Experience the hype of the game that has... Oh, sorry.
No. Insert Final Fantasy. Insert Final Fantasy meme here.
Yes.
Excellent. All right. And Dan Kinney took a break from falling off cliff to join us for the words are hard. There we go. I'm doing that again. And Dan Kinney took a break from falling off cliffs to join us for the podcast to talk ESO.
All that and more and more and more coming up right now.
Bringing you the latest news from the AIE gaming community from planet Earth and beyond. This is the AIE Podcast.
All right. Good to go.
Welcome to episode 376 of the podcast celebrating you, the LA gaming community. The Die Has Been podcast. This is Mewcow, and to my virtual left is Ted Semi.
Howdy. I typed in broken links. I'm good.
Excellent job, love.
And to my virtual right is Makala.
Hey guys, there's an apple and pear cobbler in the guild kitchen.
And this week we are joined by special guest Dan Kineo, who is here to talk to us about jumping off cliffs. About AIE and ASO. Welcome.
Same difference.
Thank you.
I have been led off many a waterfall by Kenny in ESO.
Don't
As long as you're not chasing them.
Yep.
Alrighty. Well, let's go ahead and go around and see what everyone's been up to. Let's mix it up and go with Dankenia this time around and see what you've been up to since we've last talked to you.
Jumping off of all of the things. So I've been playing a lot of games because a lot of games are currently having holiday type things. So I'm roaming through the wastelands in Fallout 76. I'm playing Final Fantasy, working on gathering a bunch of tombstones, and I might one day get out of Heaven's Word because I finally got out of the ARR. Oh gosh, I'm level 72 and I'm still in Heaven's Word.
Dang.
That's the great thing.
Yeah.
I like dungeons, so yeah, I was 64 when I got out of the ARR.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Might have some issues with dungeons there. And of course, WoW, ESO, I play both of those. There's holiday events going on in ESO. I attend every now and then, play some Dungeons and Dragons on Sunday with some friends.
Nice.
And yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing, is a lot of video games.
Are you rolling dice? It sounds like you're rolling dice.
Sorry, I have a fidgety thing and I dropped it on my desk, and I will now put it down so I stop making fidgety thing noises.
It did sound like dice rolling, though.
Just rolling for the initiative of what you were going to say.
Right.
Fidget away.
Yes, fidget.
That's our Kenny.
All right, well, it sounds like you've been up to plenty. So let's go over to Makala and see what you've been up to.
Well, let's see. I have now gotten home from Disneyland, which was a blast. I was really impressed by Disney when it comes to safety, because I got in trouble for not wearing a mask in the bathroom. Because basically, if you're inside, it doesn't matter where you are, unless you're physically eating, you're in a mask, which I really appreciated. We had a great day, 3 days. Our first day was like literally 8 a.m. until 10 at night, almost nonstop, because that's the day we did the Oogie Boogie Bash. Our second day, the other two ended about 9 o'clock, but we started, pretty much the second the park opened. Had an amazing time. I ate everything. However, I will say my method of being really, really good beforehand and then eating all the things paid off, because I didn't gain any weight on my trip, and that would have been okay if I would have, because
it doesn't count.
Disney, exactly, and I ate all the things.
Yes, she did. I mean, if you follow her on Facebook, it was dessert.
Her on Instagram, yeah, basically it was a tour of Makala and all the foods of all the sweets of the Disney park. Rise of the Resistance was amazing. And I cried when I went through the front gates on the first day. And then I cried when we entered Galaxy's Edge. Like a child.
Happy.
And that was, and that was caught on camera. So, yeah, it was unbelievable. So that was my big thing. We have not gamed a lot since then, though we did. We gamed Rose Game on Sunday. We did actually have a chance to do that, which was our hag fight.
That was a blast.
So much fun. Yeah, we had a hag fight. Ben charged on up there, and how did he find the hag? Oh no, they were there.
The hags found him. He chased the Cambion up there.
Yep.
And then there was an empty room once we took care of the Cambion, and we all headed down to go look for the hags. But Ben stayed behind to try and set one of the beds on fire, and then the 3 hags that were hiding, each on their own bed, decided that Ben was a pincushion.
Yep. Ben was not a pincushion, luckily. We did join him. Got one of the hags out. By the way, when you silence an entire room of hags,
they're not happy about it.
Imagine not.
No, because they can't do anything besides claw at you. And yeah, that meant that we couldn't cast any spells, but it was it was a risk I was willing to take.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We had enough melee attacks.
Yeah, we had a lot of melee attacks. And even though I'm a Healy cleric, I also have a lovely sword. I'm an upfront there. I'll bash you with my sword and then heal you. Well, not heal who I bash, but heal the party. So yeah, we took one of the hags out. The other two vanished. Then we searched the Cambion and found a mysterious cat's eye. And then my character remembered that hags can thief through that device and stepped on it, which caused damage, and they screamed out, so we know exactly where they are.
Because it turns out it wasn't a cat's eye. It was a hag's eye.
It was a hag's eye.
Oh.
Which is why it's kind of super fun to play the grandma who, told her kids and grandkids stories, because that's how she knows, things like that is through fairy tales. Let's see. So that was Rose game. It was a great time. The only other game we played this week was Star Wars. There was an arena battle that our Rhodium was in. And again, that scene in Return of the Jedi where Luke freaks out because he can tell Vader senses him and he's endangered the mission?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my character's doing that again.
That's not good.
Nope. It's fun being a Force sensitive when you can't control it yet.
Yep. I have a bad feeling about this.
Yeah. Oh God, someone's watching us. Yeah, because we're tracking down a former ISB agent who is on a asteroid that is run by the Pike Syndicate, and we just realized that a third of their asteroid is Imperial controlled.
Not good.
And clearly, there's someone on that base that is, well, a little more than a sensitive.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been up to.
A lot. So then that leaves the Semi. Tell us what he's been up to.
What have I been up to? Well, in real life, we got tired of hearing of your pirate ship, and so we got our own. No.
I wish.
No, we actually are getting our backyard redone in real life. So I've been out dealing with that. They started on Thursday, so they were Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and they'll finish up Monday or Tuesday. But it's gonna look really nice in the back. So we have a fire pit and a nice seating area, some artificial turf for the animals to hang out on, and to cover it with rock for the rest of the stuff to keep the dust down, so we can actually sit out there. It'll be nice.
I don't think I've ever been there where it's actually been, weatherable enough to go outside. So
True. Yeah, you've been there, and you've been here in May.
Yeah.
Yes, May, and then May, and
yeah,
and June, and then May.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's when I've got the misters working again, so it's actually not too bad to sit out, in the evening with the misters on, end of May, beginning of June, because it's still dry enough that turning on misters, putting water back into the air, makes sense. Mm-hmm. And then for gaming, popped in and just cycled through all my characters in WoW and WoW Classic and SOTOR and told them how much I miss them, and I'll be back when there's actual content to play. And then fell back on one of my first real computer game loves, and that's one of them was SimCity, but I have found that City Skylines is a really good scratch for that itch of city building, where you don't want to have to micromanage everything. You just kind of want to be the city planner and then watch the city develop as you've planned it, and then deal with the outcome and stuff like that. So I have been having a lot of fun playing that. Just the vanilla, no DLC, because there's DLC like add bike paths to the traffic, or designate this area as a park instead of having to put down a park, that sort of thing. So there's a lot of little quality of life stuff in the DLC, but I'm just playing through the basic one, just to see if I enjoyed it. So having a lot of fun with that. I definitely, if anyone plays City Skylines, it was getting a little overwhelmed because there's a lot of stuff to do. There's a YouTube channel called City Planner Plays, and he has a whole basic series for Skylines that's amazing because he takes the time to explain why he's doing what he's doing and show you that, and then actually has a save file that you can use if you want to, like when he gets to the end of, I think it's a 6-part tutorial, like the first part is 0 to 10,000 citizens. You can then get that file, so when you start part 2, you're exactly where he was when he finished the tutorial, and then pick up from there. But I did a pretty good job of following along in the tutorial and doing what he was doing within reason, and so having a lot of fun with that.
Yeah.
The only bits I've seen of that have been someone showing you how not to play the game.
Yeah. No, City Planners Plays does a really good tutorial series with the vanilla DLC stuff. So cool. Awesome. That is what I have been up to. What have you been up to, Mew?
Oh yeah, I guess I have been up to things. Let's see, probably mostly Final Fantasy. Just kind of basking in the pre-expansion lull for the most part. The Moogle Tombstone thing has been kind of interesting to explore. I did participate in the T2 Blue Mage group, and in 3 hours got 260 something tombstones. So it is extremely effective. It was. I mean, and it was pretty easy. Like, you don't even have to have the entire group be Blue Mages. And the way we did it is we had one tank. I was healer, and then we had 6 Blue Mages. And then you designate, there's 3 ads, and you have 3 Blue Mages do their instant kills on those. And then all the Blue Mages basically suicide dive the final boss, and then you're done.
Oh, that's nice.
It takes, like you spend more time running from place to place than you do doing any actual fighting.
Right, yeah, because the Blue Mage spells are ridiculously powerful.
Yes. Yeah, so it's there. Yeah, the thing that really helps with it is something called level 5 death, and because we are, I guess it's something to do with we have more hit points than the ads or something. So it ups the chance that because normally it's like a 50-50 chance that it'll actually fire, but because of the way we're set up, like we have a higher chance of killing it. So sometimes we don't. So there's like a backup Blue Mage that'll come in and do their thing. Or we just, Zorg it down because there's 8 of us that can very easily destroy it if we need to.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was actually kind of fun, and it's silly just to see how fast you can get down there, and just seeing these Blue Mages bounce all over the place. You swear they were dragoons because of the crazy spells they have. And yeah, like you're basically like you throw out a shield because the shield healing tends to be the most powerful in that situation, and just go to town. It was a lot of fun, and yeah, I have the really cool jacket, which I learned was something that it was an Asia exclusive. Mm-hmm. So it's been in the game for a while, but it was Asia exclusive, some kind of a promotion they did over there. So this is how they're introducing it to us. And then I got some of the harder to get mounts, because that's what they do is they put one exclusive item, and then they put some harder to get 2 mounts, and then they put some easier to get 2 mounts, and then just some random stuff. Including this crazy gear set called the Bone Wicca set, which is just very outlandish looking. But I need that. That's my next goal is, the next runs I get to get tombstones, they're probably going to try to get that Bone Wicca set because it's very interesting looking. It's a caster set.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like it would go well with a Blue Mage or a Black Mage.
Probably, yeah. I want to say it looks more like an outlandish Black Mage. But it looked interesting. And they also have lots of maps, which it's one thing that you don't think about much, but you can get these maps that make you go faster in areas. So it's like it's a map that tells you the most effective paths to run, but it's just a mount speed up for that area. Yeah.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. So it was a kind of neat little quality of life thing you can grab onto there, and it's amazing to see just how lively things are. Like, the cities are packed. Like, this is not like any pre-expansion lull I've ever seen. There's just so many people running around, and it's always so crowded. It's kind of amazing to see, and that's on every server, because I've got characters on each data center,
right?
And so I can hop around and look, and yeah, every server is just packed with people, and it's kind of amazing.
Awesome.
Other than that, I've delved a little bit back into Animal Crossing, because we're all anticipating the stuff coming November 5th, I think.
Yeah,
that all looks very cool. And I saw that I'm already subscribed to the Nintendo thing, so I guess I'm going to get the expansion for free, the DLC expansion.
Yeah.
So,
but you have to do the upgraded version of the online to get it, and I don't think you can sign up for that yet. At least you couldn't last week when I checked.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was supposed to launch like sometime between now and the end of the October. Is it October 28th or something? Yeah.
Yeah, we have with the family set up for me and Mrs. Mew. And,
yep.
We're probably going to break down and let Mini Mew actually have his own island, because he's getting more and more interested in playing the game, and you can only do so much as an additional character on an island. So
right.
Yeah.
But also because he's so into Minecraft, and it's watching him try to play it on the iPad of all places is it's almost painful, because he's just trying to do these crazy things, but you'd only do so much on that weird interface.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that would be a good Xmas present.
Definitely.
I'm gonna do something. And then some Genshin. That's still been a fun thing, and I'm actually kind of curious, the Genshin teapot. I wonder if that's going to be similar to what the Island Sanctuary is going to be, because one thing that Yoshi P wanted to point out to everyone is, don't expect Animal Crossing when you get the Island Sanctuary. Like, we're not competing with them. He says that he respects their work too much. Don't expect.
Awesome.
Yeah, he says don't expect that level. We're not going to try to compete. It's going to be its own thing. It's going to be its own relaxing place, non-competitive. You're not going to get, best in slot gear in this place. You're not going to, it's just a place to go and just do relaxing things that don't have any time limit, and just chill. And here's the thing that I loved out of that the most is, oh, by the way, we're going to be updating it as content continues. We're not going to abandon it during the expansion.
Got it. Unlike certain companies have been known to do. Yeah.
So that was the news I wanted to hear. Yeah, because I'm still a little annoyed by what a certain company did with that. But
understandable.
But otherwise, just enjoying the brief period of nice weather, and just actually got in from a walk. So yeah, that's about it. That's enough out of me, I think.
Cool.
I think that's everybody. So what we're going to do is move on to ESO, but first we're going to cover this week's news.
AIE News.
All right, and we have mandatory fun nights with an update. This is where the fun is mandatory, but attendance is not. Sunday, WoW Classic, 2 p.m. Eastern. Sunday, STO, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. So that should be going on in about 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Monday, Guild Wars 2, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday, SOTOR, 9 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday, Final Fantasy XIV Casual Rating, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday, Final Fantasy Fun Night at 9 p.m. Eastern. Thursday, New World, 8 p.m. Eastern. Also Thursday, Friday, Final Fantasy XIV Progression Rating at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Friday, ESO, 9 p.m. Eastern with Kenny. And then Friday, Final Fantasy XIV Late Night Fun Night is at 11 p.m. Eastern. Saturday is busy. Saturday is Lotro, Lord of the Rings Online at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, Final Fantasy Map Night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, and New Braid in WoW with Kinney at 11 p.m. Eastern.
Excellent. All right. And we just have a note from Gusty Tail, the mistress of transmog and cosplay. As we all know, she loves both transmog in and out of game. She wants to see what others are doing for Halloween. Feel free to post in the Pixar Didn't Happen channel in the AIE Discord, which I, by the way, did just before the show to show off my costume for a baby shower yesterday and the one I wore for the Oogie Boogie Bash. For those WoW players, post what you want, but especially things like your Headless Horseman mount, helm, and the sword to prove that they actually exist and they aren't urban legends. Other games show us your rarest and best loved looks, what you're proudest of, things you worked hard on for, your just whatever it is that you want to show off. Picks where it didn't happen, that's where to do that. By the way, New World, staring at you guys. Let's see some.
And I've seen some good picks already from New World in there, so.
Alrighty, over in streaming and guild podcast news, the new Overlords, aka the SWTOR Escape podcast, have episode 401, Low Sodium Merc Update. 7.0 Merc style is on the PTS, and we finally find out how salty we are about it. Hopefully low sodium. And then on to Working Class Nerds, they have episode 126, which is a sidebar sandwich. The only rule of this episode is there are no rules.
Yay!
Chimeri and Atrax join Marcus and Nick for this wild ride of an episode. So please enjoy. You have links to the Twitch for Chimeri and Atrax in the show notes.
Yep. And one thing I did not post because I've only been grabbing the last week of podcasts, but we need to congratulate Max, Seema, SWTOR. We mentioned 401. They hit 400 2 weeks ago, and I was on there. I was on there. Marcus was on there. Nick was on there via audio. Had some of the other people that have been guest stars on there as well to just kind of celebrate 400, and it's a really good listen. And we basically talk about what our favorite part of SWTOR was in the past and what we're hoping they're going to do in the future.
Congratulations. That's amazing.
Yeah. 400. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
All right. And in Fleet Action Report for Star Trek Online, the Fleet Action Report episode 67, Fall of the Old Ones. Wait, did we slip into Cthulhu here? This week on the Fleet Action Report, Nikitas and Greebog dive into the latest event, Fall of the Old Ones. It's a new event with new ground-based TFO for you to enjoy. We go through the Cat's Tail TFO twice to show you different aspects of the TSO and even give you a few tricks to help you find all the candles, find all the black cats, and even how to get those pesky skeletons into the candlelight. Yeah, that sounds...
that sounds pretty Lovecraftian. Sorry.
Yeah.
All
you
right.
You Lovecraft in my StarCraft.
Right? Hey. Nothing's wrong with that. Boards and Swords podcast. Thunder Road Vendetta with guest Robert DeVoe. I'll go with that. Boards and Swords 182, which is available at boardsandswords.com. They've got Robert DeVoe from Restoration Games there to talk about their next Kickstarter, Thunder Road Vendetta. Plus, of course, a month's worth of game news.
Yep. And they are also recording right now their next podcast. So they started about half an hour before we did.
Excellent.
And in Nomads news, specifically Destiny 2, AIE is still playing. So make sure to check out the Destiny 2 chat channel and AIE Discord to connect with your other Guardian friends. We are entering into the year of the holiday Events-a-Palooza stretch. So currently we have the Festival of the Lost. That'll be until the 2nd of November. And the details are on Bungie.net if you want to see them.
All right. And in New World. New World is quite the success. We had to open a second company, AIE Problems, and move inactive people to it as we reached the cap earlier this week. I mean, to be honest, the cap was 100 people. So
yeah,
we call that a Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. So on Tuesday, speaking of which, we had our first MFN trial running around the map, fighting mid-level corrupted invasions and closing their portals. On Thursday, they had their second MFN trial, clearing a pirate citadel and teaching who yars.
Yarg.
Voting was up about MFN evening selections. It was a close vote, but Thursday beat Wednesday, so the next MFN will be Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, as we mentioned earlier, for 2 to 3 hours, doing activities that allow players to join and leave at any time. If anyone wants to run a Wednesday later MFN, anyone can schedule and organize. See you in-game.
Excellent. All right. And in WoW news, we have a raid team roundup. Thank you, Gusty, for submitting this. Congrats to Kitty Aggro for 10 out of 10 Heroic Sanctum of Dominion, our second raid team to achieve the head of the curve achievement. The Filthy Casuals are going on break until 9.2 after completing 10 of 10 Normal Sanctum. Behind the Curve is 4 of 10 of Heroic Sanctum and farming Normal to gear up for new members. Where's the Tank, aka Wit, Alts, and DOA continue to farm Normal Sanctum, with several proceeding directly to New Braid. Prepare for trouble, make it double. Great. They're Team Rocket. Wit Main is heroic 8 of 10, with only Fate Scribe, aka Wheel of Misfortune, and Sylvanas left to go. Way to go, teams!
Yep.
Wow.
All right. And in WoW game news, upcoming extended maintenance for U.S. Realms is Tuesday from 2 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, or whenever they get done.
Yep.
Patch 9.1.5 has a release date. I mean, maybe? Yeah, it has a release date. It's November 2nd. It has a lot of quality of life improvements and some really cool features that you wouldn't really expect in a 0.5 patch, including easy covenant swapping, new character customizations, Legion time walking, the return of the Mage Tower, legacy loot for BFA raids, and a whole more. There is a summary on Blizzard Watch if you want to kind of check that out. The Mage Tower will not release until December 7th, when Legion time walking comes around. It'll be available for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. You won't be able to collect transmog that was available in Legion, but there are new tier 20 armor recolors and a mount to be obtained. There's official patch notes on World of Warcraft's website.
All right, to get settled in for the novella. Final Fantasy XIV news. We are now more or less a month away from Endwalker, and the hype is real. Remember, Endwalker starts for early access for pre-orders on November 19th, so that's basically when it comes out. If you pre-order any version, you will get an earring with a 30% bonus to all XP earned. Also, the stats on the earring scale with you as you level, and change depending on what job you are. I don't think this includes crafting classes, so that might be incorrect.
I don't think it does.
Yeah, because you still have to use the one from, I think, is it Heaven's Ward?
Yeah.
Yeah. That one does everyone up to level 50, but past 50, you don't have trouble crafting leveling. It's all easy.
Yep.
If you are not on the pre-order type, you can wait until November 23rd to get Endwalker, and basically just see what everyone's been up to. So if you're on the fence, you can watch everyone else run amok, and I guess you get everything else to yourself because everyone else will be in Endwalker zones. But yeah, I mean it's rare. If you're playing the game, you probably have Endwalker by now. But if you don't, enjoy the place to yourself for a while. All right. With all the trailers, announcements, live letters, and media days, there are still more that they have yet to announce. So on November 5th at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, and 4 rocks past the 5th sand dune in Arizona time?
Oh, stop it.
What?
Yeah,
Is that a thing?
They're just mad we don't move.
Oh my
Okay.
God, Abo, give it up. We're sorry.
This will be live letter LXVII, or 67 for those not aligned. Here, all that is listed in the new Endwalker information and miscellaneous updates on the agenda. So we expect to hear new info on the expansion, the stuff they haven't shared with the media tours. And there's probably stuff that they're still working on, or they just wanted to just save it to that last bit, and they didn't want us to mull about it a little too long. And that's all for the non-AIE news. So now we'll move on to the free company AIE news. What they wanted you to know is that they're working on grade 3 XP buffs for everyone. And here's how you have a crafter, can help. First off, we need to create Aether wheels. This is created in the workshop, which is accessible in the FC house, main floor, back left corner. There's it's the same place where you go to your FC apartment, essentially, but there's a different option to go to the workshop. In there is workshop, and in the middle, we have our current project, which is the grade 3 Heat of Battle Aether wheel. You can donate items to complete the craft. An officer will need to pull it out of the crafting station and start up a new one. But from there, we need to place it in the Aether wheel stand where it needs to cook for about 70 hours. When the time, these are really good buffs. That's why.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
When the time comes, we'll pull out the charged Aether wheel and add it to our buff inventory. Then, come Friday and Saturday, we will want to activate the following buffs: Heat of the Battle 3 and Reduced Rates 2. This will allow everyone in the free company to get a 15% bonus on all combat XP, as opposed to the normal 10% we get from Heat of the Battle 2. This is why it's such a big deal.
Yep.
Also, remember, anyone can refresh the buffs. So if you see the buffs are down, you can go to the FC panel and reactivate them. Just make sure to only use grade 3 on Friday and Saturday, so we can get the extra bonus for the weekends when most of us are here playing. It is still not too late to jump into your Final Fantasy XIV adventure. You can come on down to the Final Fantasy XIV channel in Discord, and we will get you started. Yeah. If we tell you there's a free trial,
yeah, exactly.
Insert Final Fantasy meme here.
Yep.
Yeah.
And in SOTOR news, BioWare has published a cosplay kit for the very popular character Lana Beniko. It includes high-resolution images of her and her unmistakable gear, as well as reference materials and color palettes. In case you have yet to meet Lana, here's a few words about her. With her serene and considerate manner, one might mistake Lana Beniko for a Jedi. She is, however, a Sith Lord of great wisdom and strength, who has impressed many of her peers in her considerably short period of time with her keen insights into the nature of the Force. The cosplay kit is intended to be first of many. Maybe Darth Malgus, anyone?
Mm-hmm.
Also, the Feast of Prosperity and Double XP are still going on. Come join us Tuesday night for MFN, where they'll likely be killing an event boss or two, making some currency, and piling on the XP.
I have to say, Lana is probably one of my favorite all-time characters in that game.
Yeah.
It's just so well done. It's like the equivalent of not all Sith are like, super dark, scary, crackly, like falling apart people. Like, no. Effective Sith, right there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Effective, powerful, strong, without being...
Right. Not overtly evil.
Yeah.
I'll get you, my pretties.
And your little dog, too. Hey, have I told you about the trauma of... never mind, you can't cackle quite like my mom can, so it's okay.
That's not a challenge.
I may have an issue, I'm sorry. All right. And hey, STO... a thing, a Cthulhu theme here. Current STO event, Follow the Old Ones, is still ongoing. The Mirror Guardian Cruiser will be available in the Zenstone store starting on 10/28, and the Fleet Action Report is looking for 2 volunteers up with a 10:25 show at 11 p.m. Eastern. So that is tomorrow, guys.
Yep.
There'll be a few. This will be to run a few ground TFOs.
Basically, it's instead of ships, they're going to run around with their people and shoot things with guns.
Oh, awesome.
Alrighty, over in Lord of the Rings Online, the next expansion, The Fate of Gundam, will be released on November 10th. Ooh, it's getting busy in November.
Yeah.
Also, the long-awaited Curator vendor will be in Middle-earth from October 25th until November 1st. If you have not taken advantage of the Quest Pack redeem code, LOTROR Quests 2021, you have until the end of November to do so. Also, most expansions are on sale in the game for 99 LP. You can also go to lotro.com/getready for more details. Lastly, if you need any assistance with the new legendary items, we can walk you through it and answer any questions in the Lord of the Rings Online channel.
Yep.
Please look into it.
And in Guild Wars 2, game news. Beta week starts Tuesday. Try out the last 3 elite specializations for Thief, Engineer, and Ranger. Week 2 for Return to the Icebrood Saga starts Tuesday. Don't forget to log in each week to get these chapters for free. The Halloween event is still ongoing. I believe it ends on November 9th. There is a bonus to do a strike mission, 5 to 10 person content in this week's Return to Bonus Achievement set. The reward is 7 Mystic Clovers for a piece of content that takes maybe 5 minutes, if that. You need 77 Mystic Clovers to make a legendary weapon, and they're either absurdly expensive to craft or limited to PvP or World versus World reward track and rewards, or the 7 you can get for logging in for 30 days. The best way to get the strike mission done is to watch LFG contacts and the LFG button in the upper left. The default key is the Y. Second tab down from that window, LFG, and then strike missions, middle bottom of the list. Pick looking for more, and Shiver Peaks is what you're looking for. Jedi is expecting to see this bonus pop up with each of the chapters set of return to achievements. Most of the strikes are pretty easy and supposed to be an introduction to raids. Guild stuff. Mandatory Fun Nights happen Mondays at 8:30 Central, the only real time zone. Again, people.
Oh my God.
That's 9:30 p.m. Eastern or 6:30 p.m. Pacific. Actual time zones.
Or something about 3 past rocks and a tumbleweed in Arizona.
Right. Mei Lung hosts Dungeon Nights. Best to check Discord for these. And last, if you need help with anything in-game, reach out in our Discord channel.
Yep, you too. And with all that, let's get back to Dan Kinney and find out what's going on in ESO.
Thank you. Before I actually dive into ESO news, I wanted to mention a few things about New Braid. New Braid will be taking our annual break for the winter, starting Saturday, November 20th. That'll actually be our last New Braid of 2021, and then we'll dive back into normal Sanctum on January the 8th. New Braid is currently, I believe, 6 of 10. We killed Painsmith a couple weeks ago, and we hope to kill him again.
Excellent.
Also, at the request of Gusty, so you could totally blame her for this, next week on October 30th, we're doing a Halloween edition of New Braid. The group is going to pick up the bad anima powers in Sanctum, which are 10 of Towers and Lumbering something or another. I never remember the full name for that one. And we're going to try to kill Terrague. We're actually going to fail gloriously at it because all the bad powers, but we're going to give it a shot. Then we'll get the right powers and do it the right way. But it should be fun. ESO MFN might also be on break during the same time frame. However, someone mentioned they might be willing to run it a few of those weeks while I'm out, but I will keep you guys posted as I know more. Just because I want to take a little bit of a break toward the end of the year.
I think we all need a break at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I'm still processing 2020 and it's almost 2022. This is not right.
And then we need to process 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's time has been both super fast and super slow all at the same time.
Yeah, it's weird. So are we saying time is fleeting? Mm-hmm. Madness takes control?
Yeah.
Yes.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's just a jump to the left.
And then a jump to the right. Sorry. For those who aren't paying attention, there's a Rocky Horror Picture Show conversation going in chat. So I just brought it to the notes. Go on, Kenny. I apologize.
No worries at all. But yeah, I figure taking, from Thanksgiving off is good for both of those events, just to let people spend time with their families and relax a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you're not doing anything special, like I don't have any major plans for the holidays, but it'd just be nice to have a break.
Totally.
And remember, you guys can do whatever you want. Start whatever events you want. Have a special holiday event for all it matters, because you have the power to do whatever you want to do.
Exactly. So
Guild
if
events,
MFN,
Yep.
If MFN wants to run without me, I'm totally on board with that. But yeah, so that's what we're doing in both of those games. It's most likely, New Braid for sure will be a break. ESO might be a break. Probably will be.
I think, it's understandable. We've all had one heck of a year. I think, taking a break from any responsibilities and just playing games for fun.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And as Kazrick said, and playing Endwalker.
Yep.
I don't know that I will actually be in Endwalker content by the end of this year at the rate I'm going through Heaven's Ward.
And that's okay.
You have vacation this week.
I do. And I will be playing all the games.
Says the woman who's pulling reports for her team. Anyways.
And I appreciate it. But lately, mandatory funds in ESO have been totally event-focused just because that game has had several events back-to-back. One of which got all of us the new Deadlands DLC free, basically. But I'll go into more about that DLC in a little bit. But our MFNs, the Witches Festival is going on right now. So we've been running around dressed as skeletons, killing bosses to obtain plunder skulls, collecting feathers, and finding lots of places to jump off of. So many jumping off of.
Oh, excellent. So you're in your element.
Yep.
Exactly. The event runs until Tuesday, November 2nd at 10 a.m. Eastern. And you get 2 event tickets for the first boss you kill of the day. And the plunder skulls can contain various, as they refer to them, repulsive rewards.
Mm-hmm.
Style items, furnishings, recipes, creepy things, and fragments for a new pet called the Witch-Tamed Bear Dog, which I'm not sure what that is yet, but I'm working on getting it.
That's one heck of a name.
Witch-Tamed Bear Dog.
Yup. Mm-hmm. Also, there is a whistle that goes along with this event after you do the initial quest. That quest is account-wide, not character-specific, so you don't have to run it on all your tunes if you have more than one. And you get 100% experience boost that stacks with scrolls in the game. So you could end up with 250% bonus XP for kills that you make, which is awesome. And when you drink from the cauldron, you turn into a spooky skeleton, hence the running around as skeletons while we do this stuff. Yep. And the first 2 fragments of the Doomchar Plateau, which is a new house, is available in the event shop with the event tickets. The final pieces of that will be available at more events later this year. So lots of stuff going on. And Deadlands, which is the next DLC zone, actually launches November 1st. Talk about everything launching in November.
Right.
It has new delves, new bosses, and new quests, and it continues the Gates of Oblivion storyline. As is traditional for Mandatory Fun Night, we're going to explore that new area the Friday night after it launches and see what adventures await us, as well as find some place for me to lead people to their deaths by gravity. The fact that attendees of MFN also keep their eyes out for high points to tell me about so that we can jump off of them, it's not just me, by the way.
Yeah.
Hey, Kenny, come here. Look over there. Whee!
Pretty much, yeah. It's definitely a thing.
As a close friend of yours, I do appreciate the fact that you're not this way in real life.
Yeah.
Oh, me too. I don't like heights in real life. I don't like the feeling that I could fall off of something in real life. Like, if we go to the Grand Canyon, I'm 10 feet back from the edge. That's just the way that goes. And I am not walking on that glass bottom bridge. Not happening.
Oh.
But in a video game, I will totally jump off something.
Sure.
Okay.
That's perfectly reasonable for a group of Invernals to do.
Exactly. So I have a question, because ESO is fun, but I have must complete everything syndrome when it comes to questing. So is the best way just to ignore everything, go into an area and just work through what's there and then go to the next area?
That's what I did to finish the Aldemary Dominion quest line. I just have gone zone by zone to see that full story.
Okay.
I did prioritize doing the main Soul Shriven quest line at one point because it has the best skill point value for you.
Oh, yeah.
And due to how they changed the game with the one Tamriel, you can chain that. It's not locked by levels.
Okay.
So you can just run straight. Sometimes it'll say you have to leave the little sanctuary where the hermit is and then go back to it. But you can run all the way through that piece to get that whole story. Originally, that story was parallel to the zone story, so you had to jump back and forth between the two.
Okay.
But with the way that it scales now, that's not a thing. So, yeah.
Okay, I'll have to
Yeah.
hop back in and do that, because I think what I did was, like, I was following the main quest line, and it's like, go to this new area, and then I got into that new area, and it's like, look at all these side quests you can do, and so I started doing all those, and now I've completely lost the plot of the main story, literally. So
Yeah.
Oh, and so one thing that I do like about this game, which is great for those of us that are completionists, it's also a drawback for those of us that are completionists, is the game remembers things that you did. So I did some random side quest in the first area for the AD zone, and like 3 zones later, some woman walked up to me and said, "I know what you did to so and so."
I know what you did last summer.
Pretty much, yeah. So and that was just some random side quest that I did that I got that comment about. So it's one of those things that doing that can add to the story later, but doing that does not necessarily take away from the story if you don't.
Right.
So if you decide just to follow the big breadcrumbs and leave the tiny ones alone and just do the main stuff, you won't really miss a lot that way.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah, and an effective way that I've seen to do it too is, I mean, you can have alts. Just have alts focus on different aspects of the game, different zones. Like, this is your Almeri alt. This is your what is the crazy the living god dude. I forget his name. It's been so long. But,
there's the Ebonheart pack and why do I always forget the third one? I'm actually in the game. I could check.
But glowy dude that kind of floats until he doesn't. It's been so long.
Glowy dude that kinds. Oh, are you talking about Caldwell?
No. It was its own island kind of area, and there was a lot of dark elves running around.
Oh, Cold Harbor. Oh, no, you're thinking. Okay, scrolling down in the list here.
It's like 3 or 4 expansions ago. I think that's
You're thinking Vardenfell, which also has its own self-contained storyline that doesn't involve the Soul Shriven quest line. Elsewhere has its own that sort of ties in because there's callbacks, but for the most part, it's standalone.
Yep.
So yeah, I would say knock out the Soul Shriven just to get the bonuses of it and get the overarching gist of the story, and then just focus on a faction story at a time. Yeah,
because it used to be that the Soul Shriven stuff was level locked too. So like it forced you to do other things, and then you can come back to it. And then you had to go, then you caught up, and then you have to go back to do your other things, and then but now it's just you can just run through the whole thing now.
Yep. And if you go to if you hit M to go to your map, you'll see map completion, and there's the icon that marks the main story pieces and how many you have, and there's a way to click that to just pick up the main story piece for that zone if you do want to skip all the side quests. And skipping the side quests, similar to Final Fantasy, doesn't hurt anything.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have it if you're a completionist, but if you want to get to the main story, it's not going to damage you for not doing all the other stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly. And with the way scaling works, you can go back to do a quest that's in the very first beginning zone, and you're still going to get level appropriate loot, even if you're level 50. So it's perfect that way.
Yeah, and some people, if you want to do super min-maxy, it's like, no, don't do that to your 50, because then you can get the best version of that gear. And, little things like that, yeah. But I also highly recommend Thieves Guild, Assassin's Guild, like every character. The stuff they give us is so powerful.
Yeah, I found the Assassin's Guild, so I know what's going on with that. What was the other one you said?
Thieves Guild.
I think I have both of those because that's the character type I was playing. So,
but it will help every single class. The stuff they give. I mean, obviously, it's going to really help the Shadow Assassin.
Yeah, that's what I'm playing.
Yeah, that's a requirement for that class. But like every other class will find what they give really useful. It's such a useful set of skills and really interesting gear too.
Yeah, I have. So my Sork, which obviously would not be a stealth-based character, I have all of that stuff unlocked for both of those guilds just because of the passive benefits. I will say that if you are playing some of the newer content and you've unlocked the companions that you can run around with, do not Blade of Woe anyone with a companion around you. Just saying.
Yeah. I imagine that doesn't go over well.
No, it doesn't. I found that out the hard way. Just, yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're bringing along your own snitch.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
But I'm having a lot of fun. The thing I like best about it is, or one thing I enjoy about it is, it plays really well on a controller, like stupidly well compared to, other, not Final Fantasy 14, of course, it plays very well, but like it plays a lot like, to me, Skyrim, but plays better.
Almost like it's an online version of Skyrim.
Well,
there we go.
I mean, it is, but you know what I mean. It plays
Yeah.
for for an MMO, other than Final Fantasy 14. Well worth it.
Yeah, I use keyboard and mouse on it just for the ease and not moving the controller over. But from what I understand, yeah, it's excellent for controller usage. And when I did play on console, obviously I use controller there. And from what I understand, the mapping is pretty similar on both. So.
Yeah.
I seem to recall that gathering and crafting is really easy on the controller too.
It is. Yeah. No,
but lock picking is a pain on controllers.
Yeah. I can see that. Yeah.
It can be, but you get in the habit of like, oh, that one's click. That one click, that one click. You just get it. But sometimes I'll switch. Like if I fail it the first time, I'll usually switch back to the keyboard and then do it that way. And that's the nice thing is as soon as you touch the keyboard, it becomes active. Or as soon as you pick up the controller, it becomes active. So you don't have to go to a menu, choose. You can swap midstream if you're doing something. So
yeah,
I really like that. And
it's a lot of fun.
If people want to get invited to the ESO version of a guild, which I think is a guild.
It's a guild.
How do they do that? What's the easiest way to get the invite?
They can either use the LFO channel in our Discord or go into the ESO channel of our Discord and just ping myself or another officer. All we need is the user ID. So that's the name after the @ symbol when you when you hit P to go into the party menu. And we'll get an invite out to you. So
yeah, I think you can even do that offline too. So you just can tell them.
They don't have to be online for us to send the invite out to them. It'll just be in their notifications when they log back in, which is awesome because sometimes people ask for an invite earlier in the day, and due to work, we can't get to them until in the afternoon. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Cool.
Anything else before we go?
Not that I can think of ESO-wise. I'm currently killing a world boss.
Nice.
Like
multitasking.
Exactly.
Like you do.
Plunder skulls. I mean, it's an event.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we go ahead and let everyone get back to gaming? So that'll be our show for tonight. While the chat room begins suggesting show titles, we want to thank Kenny for joining us. So thank you, Kenny.
Thank you, Kenny.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
And if there's anything you want to plug, or should everyone look for you in Discord?
Everyone can look for me in Discord. I also stream on Twitch our mandatory fun and new braid shenanigans at twitch.tv/DanKinia. And I'm on Twitter at DanKinia as well. I'm pretty much DanKinia everywhere.
Yep. And if you need to find her, just hashtag where's Kenny.
Yep.
Yeah, that's still a thing.
All right. Well, if you have a question or comment about our show, you can email us at podcast@aie-guild.org. You can also follow us on Twitter. The show is at AIE Podcast. Mew is at the MewCow. Makala is at Cyberwave. And I am at Ivory Tiger. And as Kenny said, she is at DanKinia. We record live with video every other Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. I think that's 4 sand dunes past the 5th tumbleweed. All right,
yes,
Arizona
exactly.
time.
Don't forget, by the time next time we record,
yes,
it'll be a different time zone.
Yeah, we'll have just swapped to
it'll be 6. It'll be 6 tumbleweeds, 3 mountain lions.
Let's just put it correctly. It's not that daylight savings time ends. It's that everyone is going back to their proper time and joining Arizona where we've been in the proper time the whole time.
There we go. So we're time lords. Got it.
Exactly. All right. You can join the chat room and play along with us on our website, aie-guild.org/podcast-live-stream, if I spell podcast correctly. And our Discord server is aie-guild.info/discord, all lowercase. For the past episodes, you can see them on our YouTube channel, which is the AIE Podcast. Our theme was composed by the amazing Andrew Allen. Follow him at Keys with Soul or visit his website, andrewallenmusic.com.
No segments this week, but folks, remember, if you want to try your hand at creating one, we would absolutely love it. It does not have to be game specific. It can be any game, RPGs, what's going on in AIE. If you want to make, yeah, definitely. We do ask that they're 90 seconds or less because we don't want to have too long there, but. Please, if you want to create a segment, we would love to have you. Submit that to the AIE, the podcast at aie-guild.org email address.
And next time, we're definitely going to talk to someone about something. It might be ourselves. Maybe it'll be Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, that's what I'm
leaning
towards.
That.
If we're thinking, just because the end of November is so busy for us in real life, and December is chaos usually. We probably end the year's podcast with Final Fantasy XIV getting ready for the expansion.
Unless we're just bursting at the seams to talk about more Final Fantasy XIV stuff, but that can be its own thing.
Right.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that'll be a good time because November 5th, I think, is the last bit of new news for Endwalker.
Perfect.
We'll probably have something to chatter about on the 7th.
Exactly.
So the hype will be real.
Oh, yes.
This will be frothing at that point. All right. So until then, AIE, this is Mewcow.
This is Tetsemi.
This is Makala.
And this has been the AIE Podcast.
Yay!
Yay!
All right.
Thank you for joining us, Kenny.
Yep.
You're welcome.
Thank you for me. I am in you at work saying, hey, what are you doing Sunday?
Well, so Gusty mentioned last week, I think it was last week at New Braid, she asked if I was going to talk about stuff on the podcast. I'm like, I'm not going to be on the podcast because I didn't think that I was. And then I get an IM from Heather going, hey, you're going to be on the podcast.
Funny how that works.
And when it's not like a cute little IM. Literally, it's an IM at work.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I
see you're active.
I was going to just, shoot you a Discord IM or a Facebook Messenger, and Heather's like, nah, I got it. Like, okay. So
yeah, which is fine. Occasionally our work conversation does talk about a little bit of video games.
I think what you mean is occasionally our work conversation talks about work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I do get a lot of Final Fantasy 14 talk going at work, so.
Yup.
That and Animal Crossing, when people trying to find the best term.
Yeah, I need to jump back into Animal Crossing. That is on my list of things to poke back around in this week while I'm on vacation.
Yeah, it's time to, if you don't have enough money, time to get it now, because November 5th, we're going to have reasons to spend it again.
Yes, I've got tons, and I just reached the point where I had done pretty much everything I wanted to do, and I didn't have the drive to keep doing it. Like, I don't want to change my villagers. I like them all, so I didn't need to go get new ones.
I had one random one say they want to leave, so I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll mix it up. Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, and I got a new wolf character. I haven't had a wolf character before, so.
I wonder if Rye has.
Meringue and Julian are still my two favorite. Those two will never, ever be allowed to leave if they ask.
Yeah, I'm that way about Caroline the squirrel. But yeah, and we have the Series 5 cards coming out on the 5th, I believe. So that's going to be a big deal. You can finally get the new ones card form. There's the ones that were new in this game aren't on cards yet.
Yeah. I haven't gotten any of the amiibo cards. I've resisted because I know myself, and once I start buying them, I won't stop buying them, and then I'll have a thing full of cards that I don't need.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, they're going to come in useful with the coffee shop.
That's true, because Brewster's coming back.
Mm-hmm. So you can hang out with them and talk. And I'm kind of curious if they're going to do it like the campsite where you can get items from the visit.
Cool. All right. Well, we got 3 title suggestions for you to go through so far. At the very bottom of the document. Or read chat.
Those are actually good ones. But I think that it's just a jump to the left and Kenny's off the cliff.
Yeah.
Sort of. That suits me.
Yeah.
It does suit you, and it does suit our little sidebar that ended up making its way into the show.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an old AIE tradition that we haven't been able to do in a long time.
Yep.
Yep. Following, yeah.
All
those
right.
midnight showing.
So cool. Well, chat room, thank you as always.
Thank you
for
guys.
joining
You were
us.
the best.
And we will see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Bye.